Now, most times people make the mistake of writing their educational history before their work experience. Now, you need to take note of this today and forever that recruiters want to start, they want to see your work experience before your educational history. It's very important because most hiring managers want to see how much work you've done for yourself before they could even get to see how, before they even get to see your level of education. Now, taking for instance, I remember it takes just less than 60 seconds for a recruiter to review one resume, or sometimes it takes them 25 seconds. So within 25 seconds, you want to write everything you need to put down under your work experience. So now, you don't use the word, never use the word employment history, never use the word experience, never use the word professional experience. Now, just make it simple by writing work experience. Now, if you want to put the word experience, now you may want to divide it into two. It could be experience in the sense that you had a paid job. It could be a voluntary experience, which means you volunteered for a particular job. But all the same, I don't advise candidates to put it that way. I advise them to just make it simple by putting the word work experience. So your work experience could be both a paid job and a voluntary job. Now, how do you craft out your work experience? So I'm going to be sending that in the next voice note. Thank you. How do you write your work experience? So many undergraduates and sometimes even corporate leaders, professional workers have asked me several of these questions. So most times in seminar, in conferences, in workshops, they tend to ask that boiling question: how do you write your work experience? So I was at a job fair on Saturday and someone happened to tell me that the CV he gave me, that was the only copy he had, and he has been keeping it for 5 years. Can you imagine? For 5 years, you're keeping one same CV for a particular job. And guess what? This man has not gotten a job for 5 years. So what has he done wrong? Obvious. It's very, very obvious. So how do you write out your work experience? It's quite simple and it's highly logical. So so now, just to summarize what I just said, is that your experience is one crucial part of your resume. Very, very crucial. You know why? Because it is where you it is that aspect or that section where you get to tell people your story. The story of how you worked in an organization, the kind of impact you've left, the kind of results you viewed, the kind of people you've worked with, the kind of teamwork you've generated, how much you've established, the kind of results you dropped, all sorts of good things. Now, oftentimes I tell people not to focus or not to just write a job description on their experience, but rather they should identify key accomplishments. What have you accomplished in a job? So let's say, taking me for instance, I've been an HR practitioner for 3 years, and if you ask me one of my key strategy or one of my key accomplishments is that I tend to review over 300 CVs every day, and I tend to invite 25 candidates every day for interview. So it's an accomplishment, right? Or I could say, I could say I introduced, I could say introduced a applicant tracking an applicant tracking system software in an organization to help fast track candidates' applications. So, what do I mean? What I mean in the sense is that most organizations might or may not have a particular idea, but the moment you get employed, you tend to bring in innovative ideas. So, you bringing up something new to your team or to an organization is an accomplishment for you. Never you put a job description. Now, from what I said, is that whatever job role or whatever field you want to focus on, whether in sales, whether in customer service, whether in HR, whether in public admin, whether in engineering, whether in sciences, whether in medical, be it any field, whatever field you've worked or you find yourself doing, you need to identify your key accomplishments. You need to focus more on accomplishment. That is the best part where you get to tell your story.